Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing a Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have a special reveal, the Painter and the Paintress. This is a new set of heroes coming to the game soon, and we're going to start taking a look at the Painter first. This is really interesting. He's got a great vibe. We were teased him a while ago. And he's here. Pierre, the painter. Alright, so he is chaotic and cultist, a mage, magic damage, Pierre, an artist who incorporates flesh and blood into his work, brought the painted maiden Rosalia to life. Their souls intertwined until his life was completely consumed by his creation. I thought she was his creation. Okay, let's do some... Whoa, alright, he's got only a bone leg for one of them. We don't have any proper spinny physics though. The lights don't trail very well. But he's got a lot of amazing visuals going on. So let me try to zoom in here and take a deeper look at some of this. Very cool aesthetic though. They had a lot of fun with this one, didn't they? So visually, obviously a very interesting, unique character. Artist vibes, we appreciate that. And yeah, let's dive in to the rest of his kit. So single target magic attack, AoE magic attack, and summon. Range boost. Look at that range. Whew. All right, let's take a look at his details here. So 10, almost 11,000 base HP, 5,000, almost 5,100 base attack, 734 defense, cost is 15, attack interval 2.6 seconds, rage regen auto 14. Alright, so there's going to be some notes that I bring up, probably more so at the end of talking about Pierre and then Rosalia as well, to give a little tips for their use in the future. So first, let's start with the talent. When deployed, causes HP drain equal to 50% of the current HP to self. Every 3 seconds, summons a prismite from a completed portrait based on the number of enemies within basic attack range. Summons prismite malachite if the enemy number is in range is 1. Summons prismite cobalt if the enemy number is in range is more than 1, and the total number of prismite malachite and prismite cobalt can exist on the field cannot exceed 2. Each attack of prismite malachite increases its own damage and Prismark's damage by 5% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Prismite Cobalt and Prismarch inflict slow when dealing damage. Wow, okay, that was a lot to unpack, so let's start with this talent. So first of all here, the HP drain, when activated, ignores any shield carried by the target and directly reduces HP. Alright. Ignores shield completely. So then every 3 seconds, alright, so we have Prismite Malachite. So this is like a green, right? So inherits 100% of the master's attributes and attacks enemies within the master's range, or Prismark's attack range. Each attack deals 70% magic damage to one enemy. Cannot attack airborne units. It naturally perishes after 15 seconds. So the malachite is like a green colored one that is for single target enemies. If the enemy number is more than 1, we'll get the blue, a cobalt. So inherits 100% of the master's attributes and attacks enemies within the master or Prismarch's attack range. Each attack deals 70% AoE magic damage to up to 5 enemies. Cannot attack airborne units. It naturally perishes after 15 seconds. Okay. All right, so again, these are pretty intense here. But the Prismarch increases its own damage and Prismarch's damage. I'm guessing he summons Prismarch on his ultimate. But it's a summoned unit that can be deployed on a selected tile. Inherits 110% of the master's HP and 100% of other attributes. Has 3 blocks. Whoa. Each basic attack deals 130% magic damage to up to 10 enemies. Increases damage multiplier by 20%. When there is only 1 enemy in range, dispels its own debuffs every 5 seconds. Cannot attack airborne units. It naturally perishes after 30 seconds. Only 1 Prismarch can be deployed at the same time. Okay, so 3 different types of summoned units, right? Very interesting, and it depends on the situation. And then they can have their damage increased up to 5 times, and the 2 different types that can deal AoE damage as well. Both inflict slow, which is a 5-second slow with a 50% movement speed reduction. So this kid's kind of crazy already, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Basic attack. We haven't even got to the actual skills yet. Brushwork. Pierre will paint continuously. Every 5 basic attacks causes HP drain equal to 30% of the current HP to self and creates 1 portrait. Up to 3 completed portraits can exist at the same time. And then you could see the rage regen and get better. Oh my goodness. Master Stroke is ultimate. Immediately causes HP drain equal to 50% of the current HP to self. And prepares a Prismarch. If a Prismarch already exists, is it Mark? I don't know. If it already exists on the field, extends Prismarch duration by 10 seconds, instead, and reduces the attack interval of all Prismites and Prismarch by 15% for 10 seconds. I think it's Prismarch, like monarch. And it's French, so Prismarch. But yeah, oh my gosh. It's pretty interesting the way that, look at the ultimate, looks so good in that visual too. But this Prismarch is going to be summoned. He can have a block of 3. So you're just giving him, he's a mage with a tank built into his kit. That's badass. Oh, he's gonna be good everywhere. Holy cow. Okay, overlay, the passive. When Prismarch attacks, increases its AoE damage, max HP, defense, and magic resistance by 1%, stacking up to 14 times. When any Prismite or Prismarch attacks, extends Prismarch's duration by 0.3 seconds. And the duration goes up to 0.6 seconds as well. Perspective. Passive. When Prismite Malachite and Prismite Cobalt within Prismarch's attack range launch an attack, they ignore 15% of the target's magic resistance and restore 1% of Prismarch's max HP to Prismarch. Oh my goodness. And you can ignore another 10% and restore another 1% HP. And of course, there's a bond skill with our lovely lady here. Spectral Resonance. Obtain Rosalia the Paintress to unlock the following bonus effect. Increase the max stacked of limit of overlay attribute bonus by 6. Wait. So this stacks 14 times. If you have her on your account, this is 20 times. So 20% of an increase damage for AoE damage and HP and 20% resist. What the heck? Oh my goodness, this is fun. He just sounds very versatile. All right, let's go ahead and read his awakening. Wait, I missed one. He's an arena. He's chaotic. So arena cost reduced by 5 in arena. Hot damn. All right, awakenings. Awaken 1 after Prismark gains 14 stacks of overlays attribute bonuses. It additionally gains the perspective effects. Oh, so both passives just trigger. Okay. Very cool. And then Awaken 2 plus 300 attack. Awaken 3 increases the total limit of Prismite, Malachite, and Prismite Cobalt on the field to 3. After Prismark is deployed, each of the first 5 attacks grants 1 extra stack of overlay. Even more? Wait, each of the first 5 grants 5 more on top of the 20. So 25 stacks. What's happening? And then Awaken 4 is penetration plus 8%. And Awaken 5, oh boy, summons Prismite, Malachite, and Prismite Cobalt based on the number of enemies on the field. A new talent effect. Prismite, Malachite, and Prismite Cobalt can assist Prismark in attacking enemies within Prismark's range. Oh my goodness. Assist attacking? This is going to be a weird, interesting one to see in action. Holy moly. And of course, we do have a bit of story here, Beauty and Madness. I expect this to be a pretty long, interesting story, and I definitely want to see how the two intertwine, but I prefer to wait to do the stories until I can do this without the timestamps or the watermark of the test server on my screen, because it just takes away from the interest there, so yeah, that's fine. I'll probably wait to do the stories until we could click them in like the event or something and play the videos. But oops, and let me cut back in here. I did want to give some notes about this character's usage. So again, the green, blue, purple are going to be like the colors of the summons. So green is single target, blue is like the more AoE, and then the purple one can do both. So the Prismite are flying summons. The purple with the ultimate is a ground summon with block and HP. It scales stronger as it continues fighting. The 2 other types can provide sustain to the giant summon, as we saw with a crazy Awaken 5. Oh, can he be like, I want to say limited ancient hero, but I kind of do. Can we get him guaranteed and get a bunch of copies? Kidding. I don't know how they're going to do this event. All right, and the giant summon is the bigger one is the Prismark. He has limited global capability at Awaken 5. The loss during global combat's greatly reduced, significantly expanding the hero's applicable scenarios. So he's a little limited early on. It sounds like I think they're trying to say like he's good and fun, but it's just his potential at Awaken 5 is crazy because he has all of this extra help added where they can assist at the same time when he's attacking. All right. Oh my goodness. So the tip with this guy is going to be to activate your support hero's skills first, then deploy him. By fully benefiting from buffs and attribute inheritance, the Prismark can reach much higher combat effectiveness. Just think like how much is he inheriting all these attributes? So you want as many. Okay. I mean, deploy Pierre after. If you deploy him after, then he's not going to get the bonuses. I mean, maybe you just wait to use your ultimate at least until you have buffs on him. Okay, in lineup recommendations for PvP. He goes great with Chaos Dominion teams, of course, like Gon, Pierre, Lebu, Dao Chan, and Durza. Where you deploy him first, then Dao Chan, Lebu, Durza, and then Gon. So that's something we're going to have to play around with. I love the suggestions, though. It really helps to visualize how you'd use him. And then, or how the team, the company intends him to be used. So the other suggestion would be in something like Titanic Ruins 3. So Matrix, I guess. A cursed cult lineup with Ezerith, Valise, Beelzebub, Pierre, and Rosalia or Beatrix. All right, that sounds like a solid cultist team. He's going to be insane for Matrix. All right, love it, love it, love it. Then we have Rosalia as well. So this is another Bond pair. It's his creation, right? Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look at this, guys. Holy cow. It's beautiful art. The characters are stunning. She's a weird mix to me of like strange weapons and crown and stuff. I don't know that I love her aesthetic overall. Like, I feel like it's strange, but I'm sure there's some good story to that as well. But she is the Paintress, and she is here. So, we got swirly, swirly. No, we don't have spinny, spinny physics, but we definitely have jiggle physics. We definitely have jiggle, jiggle, jiggle physics. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. She's not wearing a bra. She better have jiggle physics. Oh, weird, like the paint thing behind her. A jiggle, 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 jiggle. A jiggle, 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 jiggle. Okay, you're welcome. Very pretty though. The paint stuff is really cool and really well done. It really does look like she has paint smeared across her legs. And amazing job overall though, for real. Look at this gorgeous thing on her shoulder. Wait, can I zoom in here? Oh my goodness. And jiggle, jiggle. No, we're here zooming in for this. Look at that. It's like sculpture. Very cool. Okay, so Rosalia, a life born from the painting created by Pierre's flesh and soul, serves as an extension of the artist's persona, an embodiment of his ideals. She is cultist, faction, fighter, magic damage. And she does AoE magic attack, range boost, strong CC. She's got a very interesting range there. Look at that. Very interesting range. Look at the weird line, space, line, space, line. Okay, I'm curious to see how, I'm guessing it's the way she attacks. It's gonna like splatter paint or something. Clever. But her base HP is 19,000. Attack is 4,700 with 3,200 defense. Cost of 20. Let's see, block a 2 like normal. Attack interval 10 seconds. Okay. Interesting. Rage regen auto 12. Alright. So her talent. Enemies entering a painted tile immediately take 300% AoE magic damage once and are inflicted with magic resistance reduction. This damage has an 8-second cooldown per enemy. When casting the ultimate, it immediately resets this cooldown for all enemies and reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds. During the ultimate... Oh. It reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds during the ultimate. Alright, now on to this basic attack here. Paints a row of tiles in range with a random color. Red, which continuously inflicts burning on enemies in range for 5 seconds. Yellow increases the caster's damage against enemies in range by 20 seconds. Or blue inflicts 1 stack of Winter's Bite on enemies in range every 2 seconds. Paints a row of tiles in a range for 15. That's the basic attack. What? So is she just gonna keep putting strips of paint every single attack? Because it leaves that for 15 seconds. So is she just not gonna basic? How often is she basic attack? Doesn't she Is that why did she have some weird stats there? Yeah, attack interval is 10 seconds. That's why. That's why the attack interval is 10 seconds. It makes more sense now. Holy moly. You could probably bring her down to like every, you know, proper rotation of applying these steady streams of paint. So again, we got burning, increased damage, and then winter's bite for red, yellow, and blue. Okay, her ultimate, color burst. When ultimate is activated, each basic attack deals 70% AoE magic damage to up to 12 enemies and knocks back the targets that are closer to the caster. Each attack also paints tiles within the attack range with a random color. During the ultimate, reduces damage to the caster by 50%. Come on, look at the painting thing is so cool. Weird. Okay, so it actually does all three colors at once. Every 10 seconds or less, depending on your attack speed. I'm guessing, but that's really clever. Really clever. Okay, they did really well with this. This is fun sounding. Immobilized state. Here we got for 2 seconds on congeal. When enemies enter a tile of the same color, they take an extra hit of 200% AoE magic damage and are inflicted with a mobilized state. So if they have to go through each wave of the color, then they're gonna get stopped. That's clever. Desaturate. When the heroes kill an enemy, increases attack by 10% for 7 seconds, stacking up to 30% increased attack. And that's, of course, up to like 12 seconds for how long? When she kills an enemy. And then, of course, we have our... Why won't this let me move this? I guess there's no other one, but okay. Her bond skill, palette swap, obtain hero Pierre to unlock the following bonus effect. When Rosalia dies or retreats, grants rage regen to adjacent allies. And there's a 2% rage per second restoration. That's a 10-second buff. Okay, holy moly. Awaken 1. When deployed, immediately gains 100% rage and increased damage for 20% of the first 20 seconds. Awaken at 2, attack plus 300. Awaken 3, the tiles in the front 2 rows continuously deal 30% AoE magic damage per second to enemies in range. Awaken 4, penetration plus 8%. And Awaken 5 reduces redeployment time by 50%. Each deployment permanently increases the hero's damage by 5%, up to 15%. Wow, so she benefits from taking her out and put her back in and taking her out and put her back in. Okay, so you definitely know if you're needing a main DPS when you're pushing your gear raid too, and you're using those for at least the earlier ones, we're using the take in, put back out, whatever strategy. She's your girl. Now, Awaken 5 of her is going to be pointless for something like Guild War, but there might be some other scenarios where you purposely want to take her in and out. But alright, yeah, she has a story here called The Portrait, which I will again have to save for a future, I guess, hopefully a YouTube short if I ever remember to do those. Sometimes I get, like, it's bad timing and there's too much other stuff to do. Or it's the weekend and ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, let's end up with some final notes here on Rosalia. So she's a group magic warrior that can paint the ground tiles. Enemies entering painted tiles receive AoE damage, or magic damage, plus magic resistance reduction and additional terrain effects depending on the color. Red is burn, yellow increased damage, and then, of course, blue is deep freeze. Her ultimate delivers long-range knockback, high multiplier AoE damage. Her bond skill, when she dies or retreats, restores rage to allies. So she's kind of made to go in and out, in and out, in and out. That's very interesting. And her suggested lineups, of course, are with Ezrith, and like we said, Ezrith, Felice, Beelzebub, with Pierre, and some fun stuff like Titanic Ruins, well, Matrix, and then Gear Raid 1, PvP, okay, AoE Arena, and then Melrick Halls of Illusion are her suggestions. So very fun for that lineup in general to try. Her and, if you get her and Pierre, with a nice Ezrith, Felice, Beelzebub comp, a really strong cultist team, they're definitely going to be a strong part of it. Well, certainly sounds like it. This was a very interesting hero to go over. Both heroes were really interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck to whenever the hell this is at the time of recording. I have no idea when these events are going to be, but maybe we will soon if we don't already. And I'll see you in the next video.